What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Nick with Leverage Media, and today I want to talk to you about the 5 most important things that I've learned from creating chiropractic content for my practice over the last 7 years. So creating content has been one of the best investments of my time, energy, and money to build my practice over the last kind of second half of my career. I started in practice about 15 years ago, or 16 years ago now, and the first half of my career, there weren't a lot of opportunities in terms of digital marketing. And so most of the marketing that we did was around in-person events and some Google ads and a lot of phone books. There were 3 phone books in my area. We spent probably close to $2,000 a month on the phone book advertising. The second half of my career, that's when Facebook, Instagram, YouTube really started to take off. And in about 2015, we really started to focus in on content marketing. And the success that we had from that is what led me to create Leverage Media, because I knew that chiropractors needed this in their office, and not just the strategy of it, but like somebody to help them actually do it. So I wanted to share with you the things that I have found that have really helped us continue to do it, stay consistent, and get good results from it. So the number one most important thing has been the consistency side of it. Too often I see offices that, they may go to a seminar and they get, jazzed up about creating videos or writing blog content. And when I do our strategy session, I'll look back on what they've done in the past, or I'll talk to them about what they've done. And they'll usually have tried it for a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, and then they drop off. The biggest things that I found that hamper that consistency is, one, not really knowing what they should be creating content around, and then number 2, not knowing how to, or just kind of giving up on the technical aspect of things, whether it's editing the videos, posting things, paid advertising, retargeting, just all the things that make content marketing successful. It becomes difficult for people to do that, and what ends up happening is that consistency starts to fall off. The thing with content marketing is it starts to build on, it's kind of like chiropractic in that each adjustment builds on the ones before. And so with content, you're adding new conditions, new types of patients, new services, new ways of saying things, and so you're just building and building and building. And the only way that you can do that is through consistency. It's hard to do, a year's worth of content in a sprint. You can't create a year's worth of content over the course of a week. So it's better to, each month maybe there's a new topic that you want to talk about. You talk about different things in the summer than you do in the wintertime. So being consistent is what's going to allow you to be successful with content. Second most important thing that I've learned is, don't get attached to the result of any one in particular piece of content, whether it's written or video. Now, obviously, you should be tracking your metrics. You should be trying to improve all the time. You should be trying to talk about new things or taking new angles. So you should always be looking at what's happening and try to improve the strategy, or the way it looks, or the way it sounds, or the different types of platforms that you're on. So I don't want to say that you shouldn't care about the results at all. It's just that you shouldn't get attached to the results of the individual pieces that you're putting out. If you are let's say you're putting out a video on scoliosis. Well, the only people that are going to care about that video are going to be people that have scoliosis affecting their lives, or one of their loved ones' lives by scoliosis. So some of the content that you're going to create is going to be geared towards people that are in a really small pool of people. If you're talking about weight loss, you're going to be talking to a much bigger pool of people than if you're talking about, hormone balancing for people that are trying to get pregnant. That's a really small segment of the population versus, say, like weight loss. So when you create the content, you should be creating content that is really relevant to whoever the ideal patient is that would receive that content. So if you were able to, with every single video, impact one person's life and drive them into the practice so that you can help them with that situation, that would be a smashing success. If every single piece of your content just created one new patient, everyone would be doing content all the time. Not getting attached to it is what allows you to keep going and being consistent and improving. If you get discouraged early on because, well, I did that video or I wrote that blog post and nothing came of it, then you're more likely to stop than if you just stay focused on putting out great content. The third most important thing that I've learned is don't do it all yourself, or don't try to do it all yourself. Even me with a content marketing agency at my disposal, I still make sure that I'm only focused in on the things that only I can do. So I have a team of people that helps me and helps the other clients of 𝗲𝗏 Media to execute that content strategy. But even when regardless of whether you work with an agency or not, even just like shooting the content, if you've got associates, make sure that you are taking advantage of other people's voice and other people's point of view when it comes to the content that you're creating. Obviously, I think that the technical aspect of it is really important for you to get help with, because most chiropractors are not going to be experts at editing video or knowing the ins and outs of Facebook or Instagram marketing. So I think it's really important to not only get help when it comes to creating the content, but also get help when it comes to producing the content. All right, the fourth thing that I have found that has been really helpful for us is making sure that you multi-purpose your content. So if you shoot a video, you can use it across all the different platforms. Now there's different strategies for different platforms. There's different optimization techniques that you want to use, but you don't need to have a content schedule for Facebook and a content schedule for Instagram and a content schedule for TikTok and a content schedule for YouTube. A lot of those things, some of them you can be a little bit more specific, but probably 80%, especially video content, 80% of the content that you're already creating could be used on multiple different platforms. So you are not a content marketing company, you are a chiropractor, I would imagine, if you're listening to this. So the chances of you having the time to have very specific channel strategies is going to be unlikely. Like, some people love doing it and they figure out a way to be able to produce that amount of content. Others just focus in on one platform, but it's a lot better to make sure that you're being found everywhere, because people that are on TikTok may not be on Instagram. People that are on Instagram may not be on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, like all these different platforms. People have their 1 to 2 that they really spend the majority of their time. So the more people that you can reach, the better off you're going to be. And then the fifth and last one, and maybe this one's the most important, is done is better than perfect. Getting the content done. What I've found is the more that I can get it done and get it out there, then I start to become a perfectionist in a good way, to where I want to improve the content, especially like written content. If you put something out there and it's not everything that you thought it was going to be, you can always add to it. You can always edit it. With videos, you can always shoot a better one. If you watch it and you're just like, oh, I wish I'd have said it this way or that way, you can always redo it. But getting it out there instead of it just staying in your head or staying on a sheet of paper is much more likely to get improved upon than if you just stay a perfectionist in the planning process. So stay a perfectionist in the improvement process. Try not to be a perfectionist when it comes to the planning. The more you can get it out there, the better it's going to be, and done is always going to be better than perfect. So I hope that these tips have helped you in terms of thinking about content marketing a little bit differently, or like getting it out there and getting it produced. If you need any help with any of this, obviously you can find me on any social media channel. You can reach out to us. Love doing strategy sessions with chiropractors that are looking to increase their awareness locally and really improve their content marketing strategies. So visit the website, which is 𝗲𝗏 Media, 𝗲𝗏𝗏media.com, and you can click on one of the buttons, schedule a strategy session, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.